Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is the first part of another Bhagavad-geetā Māhātmyam. The sages said, O Sutta, please kindly reiterate to us the glory of Bhagavad-gītā as it was spoken long before at the holy place of Narayan Kshetra by the great sage Srila Vyasadeva. Sutta Goswami said, O venerable ones, you have certainly asked the most glorious question. Verily, who can describe the supreme grand glory of Bhagavad-gītā, which is the most hidden of all treasures? Certainly, Lord Krishna is in full knowledge of that glory, and Arjuna, the son of Kunti, knows something of its fruit. Vyasadeva, Shukadeva, Yajnavalkya, and the saintly King Janak, they all are somewhat conversant with Bhagavad-gītā as well. Apart from them, others who have heard from one another about it are engaged in singing the praises of a tiny fraction of its greatness. All the Upanishads are like the cow personified, and the cowherder boy Sri Krishna is the milker. The son of Pritha is the calf, and the ambrosia of the Gita is the super excellent milk, and the highly intelligent, virtuous souls are its tasters and drinkers. To begin with, I offer my obeisances unto Lord Sri Krishna, who accepted the position of chariot driver of Arjuna, just to distribute this ambrosia of Bhagavad-gītā for the benefit of all the three worlds. And that fool who wants to cross over the ghastly ocean of material suffering can do so very easily by taking shelter of the boat of Bhagavad-gītā. And that fool who wants to attain liberation by constant yoga practice without hearing the wisdom of the Gita is fit to be laughed at even by a child. One who day and night hears and recites the Bhagavad-gītā is never to be taken as a mere human being. One who hears Bhagavad-gītā is a veritable demigod. In order to enlighten Arjuna with the knowledge of Bhagavad-gītā, Lord Krishna Chandra has sung the praises of the supreme principle of bhakti, devotion, both relative and absolute. In this way, the heart is purified by knowledge of Bhagavad-gītā, a ladder of 18 chapters, which refutes all other doctrines which propound bhukti, mukti, sense enjoyment and liberation step by step. The qualification to practice bhakti is thus developed. Bathing in the pure waters of the Gita, the devotees are liberated from contamination of the mundane world. But such an attempt by faithless persons is utterly useless, just like the bathing of an elephant who immediately rolls in the dust after bathing. A person who knows nothing about learning and teaching of Bhagavad-gītā is a failure in the duty of the human form of life. Therefore, there is no one more fallen than he or she who does not know the teachings of Bhagavad-Gītā. One's family, one's practices, conceptions, and one's own birth are thus all condemned for not understanding the teachings of Bhagavad-Gītā. There is no one more fallen of one who does not know the meaning of Bhagavad-Gītā, and thus one's beautiful body, personality, opulence, and married life are all condemned. There is no one more fallen than the person who does not know the scripture, Bhagavad-Gītā. Thus one's undertakings are condemned, one's reputation is condemned, one's worship, charity, and good qualities are also all condemned. A person who does not care for the holy Bhagavad-Gītā is to be known as a failure in all respects. Thus one's teacher is condemned, one's vows are condemned, one's conviction, austerity, and fame are also condemned. There is no one more fallen than one who does not study the purport of the Gita. And that knowledge which is not sung in Bhagavad-Gītā should be known as useless, irreligious, offensive to the Veda and Vedanta, and actually demoniac. Therefore, the Gita should be offered all respects, at all times, and in all places, as the inaugurator of all religious wisdom and the spotless essence of all holy scriptures. A person who studies the Gita at the time of holy festival days, especially the fasting day known as Ekadashi, for such a person, whether awake or asleep, moving or still, is never defeated by enemies. One who recites the Bhagavad-Gītā in the presence of the deity, or in the temple of the Supreme Lord, or at a temple of Lord Shiva, or at a holy place of pilgrimage, or on the bank of a holy river, such a person becomes qualified to become the recipient of all good fortune. The son of Devaki, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows, as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of Bhagavad-Gītā. The study of the Vedas and Puranas, verily the study of all scriptures, is completed in all respects for one who studies Bhagavad-Gītā with devotion. The highest perfection of life is attained by one who recites Bhagavad-Gītā. At a place where yoga meditation is performed, at an exalted holy place, before the deity, and during the performance of sacrifice, especially in the association of devotees. Great sacrifices, such as the Ashvamedha, along with their remunerations, are naturally achieved by one who daily hears and recites Bhagavad-Gītā. One who attentively hears and sings the glories of the Bhagavad-Gītā, or reiterates its meaning to others, such a person attains to the supreme destination. One who with respect and devotion, and according to scriptural regulations, makes a gift of this holy book, such a person will have a devoted wife, and without a doubt will attain fame, fortune, and good health. Have you studied Bhagavad-Gītā? Has these things not come to you? Fame, fortune, a devoted wife, good health? Do you have those things? Little? I think you have great amount. So now you know why. One who reads the Bhagavad-Gītā becomes extremely beloved by those near and dear. Is Vimal not near and dear to everyone? And enjoys great happiness. Are you happy? Therefore, should we continue or stop reading Bhagavad-Gītā? Right. The misery caused by a curse or black rites can never enter into that house where the Bhagavad-Gītā is worshipped. In that house, there is never any suffering of the threefold miseries, nor is there ever fear of any type of sickness, curse, sin, or misfortune. In that house, no one is ever born with an infected or deformed body, and those residing there achieve exclusive and continuous devotion in the mood of servitorship to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. A person who is devoted to studying Bhagavad-Gītā acquires a friendly disposition to all living beings, despite accruing the reactions of one's previous actions in this world. That verse I understand personally. One who is devoted to studying Bhagavad-Gītā, that person is liberated and happy. Although acting in this world, one is not implicated. Even, listen to this, this is so good. Even if by chance a person who studies Bhagavad-Gītā happens to commit extremely horrible sin, one cannot be affected by that. Just as the lotus leaf cannot be touched by even a drop of water. How many now are going to read Bhagavad-Gītā more seriously? I know I am. That's why I picked this. Now I know I have to read my Bhagavad-Gītā. Sin arising from offensive behavior or speech, the offense of eating forbidden things, and all kinds of sinful activities incited by the senses, whether committed knowingly or unknowingly, or in the routine daily activities, all kinds of sin are at once eradicated by devotional recitation of Bhagavad-Gītā. Although one may accept foodstuffs at all places or charity in all circumstances, the devoted reciter of Bhagavad-Gītā is distinguished in that he or she remains totally unimplicated by these actions at all times. Even one who, against the injunctions of the scriptures, accepts charity, as many precious jewels as would cover the entire surface of the earth and oceans, such a person becomes as spotless as pure crystal simply by devotional reciting the Bhagavad-Gītā only once. So, I bring this up because not this Sunday, but the first Sunday in December, the temple, Hare Krishna temple, or some of you say the Culver City temple, the ISKCON temple, they are doing their Bhagavad-Gītā Yajna. I will be leading the chanting. And we start from verse number 1, and we go through all 700 verses. Takes about 4 hours. I highly recommend that you attend that. I've been doing it now for maybe 10 years. I guarantee if you go from start to finish, at the end, you'll feel like you're levitating. Try it and see. That's December 7th, starts at 12 noon, goes till 4:30. We do the whole Bhagavad-Gītā, and I'll be your captain of the ship, guiding you along. A person whose heart is always absorbed in Bhagavad-Gītā is certainly to be taken as superlatively replete in the performance of sacrifices and the constant repetition of the holy names or mantras. All one's actions are properly adjusted. One becomes a truly learned Pandit. Certainly one is fit to be seen. One is truly wealthy. One is truly a yogi and a genuine scholar. Yes, I did not go to college, but I have read many times Bhagavad-Gītā. A person who reads Bhagavad-Gītā is a knower of sacrifice, a performer of sacrifice, and a knower of all the Vedas. All the holy places of the universe, such as Prayag, are eternally present wherever the Gita, the eternal book of divine song, is present. The protectors of the body, in the form of demigods, rishis, or yogis, all reside within the body of one who constantly studies Bhagavad-Gītā. And they are even present at the demise of one's body. Accompanied by his associates, such as Narada and Dhruva, the cowherder boy Lord Sri Krishna personally appears as a guardian wherever the Gita is present. With supreme ecstasy, the Supreme Lord Krishna and his divine consort, Shri Radhika, are graciously present wherever the conception of the Gita is discussed, studied, and taught. I would like everyone to raise your hand. We're going to recite one of the most, if not the most important verse of Bhagavad-Gītā. Are you ready? Yes. Repeat after me. Sarvadharman parityajya. That's not everybody. Mamekam sharanam vraja. That's a little more. Ahang tvang sarva papebhyo. Mokshayashyami ma shrucha. So in that verse, that crucial verse, Krishna tells Arjuna that you should just surrender to me exclusively. Just like a husband and wife, they surrender to each other exclusively. Krishna says, if you do that, I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. And then he says, Ma Shucha. Everybody say. Ma Shucha. Has three meanings. Don't hesitate. Do it now. Don't worry. There was a song. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Read Gita. That's my version. So don't hesitate. Don't worry. Don't fear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.